What's good? This is Trey, and the topic of this video is how to know when a girl is down to go back to your place, right? So, what signs to look for? What signals does she give off so you can know when is the right time to make that suggestion, right? So, let's look at the dating setting and a club setting, right? So, let's say you're on a date with a woman and you're having a great date. Um, if it's in your mind, if you want to pull her back to your place, right, if that is your goal, um you want to obviously go about it in the most efficient way possible. So the best way to find out how willing she would be, or at least get an idea, because you can never really know 100% for sure unless she's like just like making it super obvious. But what you want to look for when you're on a date with a woman is you want to look at um how much she's trusting your leadership and how compliant she is, right? And that would tell you, that would give you a way to gauge how likely she would be to go to say yes to going back to your place, right? So throughout the date, you want to have these little compliance tests, throughout the whole date. You want to basically take the lead and see if she's following you all the time. If you make a suggestion, is she saying yes, is she saying no? You want to see how much does she trust you, how comfortable is she with you, how submissive is she, right? So if we're talking about a date, the first thing you want to see is she compliant to um, the setting of the date. So when you set the date, how compliant was she when it came to that? Was she, when you said, okay, when are you free, was she quick to tell you when she was free? Did she just tell you when she was free, or did she make excuses? Did she say, oh, I'm going to be busy this day, this day? You want to look at how compliant she is with, during these steps, right? When you suggest a place that you should have the date at, is she compliant to that, or is she objecting? The time, right? These are little things, but this all plays into how attracted a woman is to you. When she's really attracted to you, she will be a lot more compliant, a lot more submissive, and she'll try to make shit work. But if she's being more difficult, then you just want to be aware of where you're at with it. You know what I mean? So then when you actually get on the date, you go to give her a hug or you welcome her. How compliant, how comfortable is she with that, right? Then you're leading her to the venue. So let's say you're going to a restaurant, or you're going to the movies, or you're going wherever you're going. Is she following your lead, or is she kind of hesitant, right? At different points of the date, if things are going well, you want to hold her hand. You want to see when you're holding her hand, how does she seem? Like, does she seem like she's into it? Is she kind of like, is it awkward? Is it, holding their hand? During the date, you wanna have like different points of the date where you're moving, right? So at some points you want to be standing, then you want to be sitting, then you want to move over there, then you want to go over there, then you want to you know if possible, bounce from place to place. Like, let's say you went to a bar, maybe go to a different bar, whatever. See how compliant she is, right? These are little things I pay attention to. Like, if the girl is complaining, like, oh, we've been walking for a while, stuff like that, I'm like, okay, she's not that emotional. She's getting logical with me. You know what I mean? Like, she's worrying about how far we're walking, or this happening, or whatever. You know what I mean? Those little things will help you gauge, right, where she is attraction wise, because that's really how you know if you should go for the pull. Like, if she seems like she's really attracted to you and she's really comfortable with you, then you should suggest going back to your place, right? Right, if that's what you want to do, you should go for it if she's giving you a lot of compliance. See, look at that. When you go for the kiss, is she into it? Does she go right for it, or does she back off? Basically, it's just about compliance the whole time. Pay attention to how compliant she is. If she's really compliant and really submissive, at the end of the day, you want to have, when it comes to pulling, bouncing back to your place. You want to have like a reason to do it, right? So maybe some point at the date, maybe you talk about a movie, or talk about, oh, I play the piano, or talk about, oh, I do this, or something, some reason why it would make sense for her to come back to your place besides sex, right? So you want to think of this, or at least create it during the date, so you can use that to give her a reason. Now, so you will have some cases where the woman is just really into you, and sometimes you could just be like, hey, you want to just join me back at my place? You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be chilling or whatever. You say some shit like that, and if she's really into it, she'd be like, oh yeah, sounds good. But yeah, the whole point is like, just look at the compliance level. How compliant was she on the date? And that will help you gauge. Obviously, you got to go on a decent amount of dates to really see the differences in compliance levels, so you can have an idea. But that's pretty much that for the date. Now, if you're in a club, it's kind of the same thing in the club. How compliant is she? You want to get her logistics. Find out who she's with. Right? And if you want to look at how basically how compliant, how submissive she is. Like if you're asking her these questions and she's putting up a lot of blocks, oh no, I'm here with my friends, I can't go anywhere, or oh no, this lady's not out, oh no, I have a boyfriend. Like if she's saying certain things that's just clearly she's not that interested, you don't really, you don't want to really be forcing. At least that's kind of how I go about it. I don't try to like push through or force through, you know what I mean? I just keep putting out these little compliance tests throughout the interaction, just to see where I'm at, right? Because it can change, a certain, depending on, where her emotions are during the interaction, like her compliance level can change. So that's why you want to put these little tests out. It's more so just leading, like, oh, hey, let's go over there. Oh, hey, in the club, oh, let's go over there. Oh, let's go get a drink, or oh, let's go dance, right? If she's objecting, then okay, she's not really loose. She's not really emotional like that. She's being a little logical, right? So you want to free her up. You want to keep talking to her, make her more comfortable. Maybe leave her alone for a little while. Go talk to some other people. Come back later, or introduce her to your friends. Or maybe go and create a vibe somewhere, and then let her see you creating a vibe. Let her see that you are in abundance here, not just stuck on her. But, for me, one of the things in the club, if we're talking about a club, like a hip hop club or whatever, where there's a lot of dancing and stuff like that, you can I like to use like grinding, for example. Like when you're grinding with a girl and you're dancing with her and she's grinding on you, you can look and see, okay, how into it is she, you know what I mean? If she's all over you and touching all that stuff, it's like, okay, you know what I mean? Like she's obviously having a good time. She may be interested in going back to my place, at some point. So you want to start doing the whole compliance thing. Like, okay, she's dancing on you, maybe turn her around, see if she's with that. You know what I mean? Move her somewhere. You know what I mean? Tell her, hey, let's go get a drink. Isolate her, if she's with her friends, try to isolate her, right? The whole going and getting a drink thing is a great way to do it. I'm not a big fan of buying drinks for a girl, but if she's into me and she's showing a lot of compliance, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'll just go and get some water. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll be like, hey, let's go get some water. It's kind of hot in here. You know what I mean? Or hey, I want to go introduce you to my friends, right? So it's nice to go to the club with your friends. Or, if you can create friends in the club, you know what I mean? You can have a good time and talk to different people and create some friends while you're there. Let's say you're going to the club by yourself, the club is a social environment. If you go up and you're having a good time and you're a cool guy, you can make friends, right? But basically, with the club, you can be a lot more direct. Like you can actually just be like, yo, let's get out of here. But you have to look at her, what they call buying temperature. Like if she's like, making out with you and all that stuff, and she's all over you, get the logistics, say, okay, who are you here with? She's, if she's with her friends, find out, was she the driver, what the case is or how far she is, you know what I mean? And, if it sounds like a situation where she'd be down to like bounce with you, like you can, one way to play it is you can say something like, oh, you know what, I want to go get some fresh air. So now, you say, oh, I want to get some fresh air, let's go get some fresh air or whatever. That's another compliance test. See what she says there. And if she says no at any on any of your compliance tests, it doesn't mean you should she's not interested. It just means she said no, right? But you want to look at you want to factor in all the compliance tests that you have given her and gauge it from there. Like if she said yes a lot more than no, then you could think, you know what, let me see if I can pull her back to my place, right? And like I said, you want to kind of have a reason. The club, like you gotta get you want to get good at paying attention to vibes, because like I said, in the club sometimes you could just be direct, like, yo, you know what, let's just get out of here. I live 15 minutes away or whatever, right? If she's really into you, you should be like, oh, okay. If she objects, don't make it a big deal. Just go into something else. Just be like, all right, that's cool, whatever. And then maybe start dancing with her or go into another conversation. Don't let something that could create a bad vibe sit there. Like once you see it about to happen, you just transition into something else, right? And like if she says no, smile. Don't because she's paying attention to your reactions to what she does, right? So she sees you getting down, then she's like, oh, this dude, thirsty dude, you know what I mean? He just trying to get me or whatever. So you want to just be like happy no matter what, like she says no, you're still good, you know what I mean? Because that emotions can change throughout the night. So the key thing is really just looking at how compliant she is. You know what I mean? And then you have to have the balls to just ask for what you want. If you want to bounce and you want to pull her back to your place, you can't be afraid to say it or go for it. Because you can't expect her to do it. Like I'm not gonna lie, there are times where she will initiate it if she's really turned on, but it's kind of rare. You know what I mean? So if you want to make it happen, you gotta just know that you're the man and you're supposed to lead. And if she says no, it's nothing's a big deal. Don't make it a big deal. Just keep it moving. You know what I mean? You could continue interacting with her. It's kind of like like if you try to kiss a girl on a date, she may not go for the kiss on the first time, but she might go for it later. But if you get butthurt or show that you're disapprove or whatever because she didn't kiss you, then now she's just gonna feel weird about the whole thing. You know what I mean? And you probably just shot yourself in the foot. All right, so I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.